뉴욕의 수재들이 모이는 과학고등학교를 졸업하고 예일대에 진학했다. 민지는 책을 좋아하고 호기심이 많은 학생이었다. 누구나 꿈꾸는 엘리트 과정을 밟았지만 세상의 불공정함도 경험했다.
I was surprised by some of the elitism of my classmates. I was really surprised and kind of hurt by it. Because I've heard terrible comments being made just because my parents had, at that point, we were middle class. We weren't poor anymore. And also, not all the professors were fair. Some of my professors were really racist. And they didn't think very much about Korean people. And I had fights with some of my professors. What I really wanted to say is that I saw Korean Americans and their lives were not being expressed in American culture. Like the people that I saw, the people that I loved, the people that were really interesting to me, like I was thinking, where's this book? I'm going to write about these people, even though they're not rich, they're not powerful, they're not famous. Nobody cares about them. They live in Queens, which is not a glamorous borough. I saw so many Korean Americans trying to become ruling class in Manhattan, and they were not even close. And when they were trying to get there, they were doing all these interesting things, but nobody was talking about it. History has failed us, but no matter. I wrote that because I was trying to say that the way we understand history has failed all of us, every single person, because it doesn't include all of us. And yet, I was trying to say that it doesn't matter because all the people who are not included still continue to live, still continue to fight. And that just because you don't see us doesn't mean that we don't see ourselves. So I wanted to really have an attitude of defiance, because I always tell them that my ulterior motive, my agenda, is to make everybody Korean. But if you're not Korean, and this is your first time, or maybe your second time you read a Korean author, and all of a sudden you start to think, oh, they're just like me, then I've changed you. In the same way, the first time I read a French writer or an Israeli writer, and I think, oh, they're just like me. They're just like my uncle, my cousin. And then all of a sudden I become Israeli, or I become German, I become French, I become Brazilian, I become Nigerian. And then I realize just how powerful it is to write a story.
I think it's an important question because I believe in reconciliation and reunion. With all my heart, I do. And I believe that the only way we can really think about other people is through empathy, and that's hard to do. But what I do think is evil, because I believe in the existence of evil, is dishonesty about one's history. So I think that if we are honest about history, then we can begin to consider reconciliation.
The absence and erasure of real Koreans and real Asians in media, culture, and history have profoundly tragic consequences for children and adults.
As a fiction writer, I want to tell you something. I have an agenda. I'm trying to make you Korean. Through characters and plot and point of view, and tone and setting. Through recognition and reversal and catharsis. I am hoping that you will become Korean. Because you see, I know that this is what literature can do. Through literature, I have become Russian and French and Muslim and Israeli and Palestinian, French and Jamaican and Haitian. And through literature, I have been male and gay and transgender. I have been differently abled and ruling class. I have been dispossessed and disenfranchised, and I have been imprisoned. And I have been orphaned. Through literature, we cross borders, and we become united with the selves we did not know that we could be.
And we become reunited with the selves that we have lost.
And so they had read the book, they were moved by the book, they identified with the characters in the book. She generously listened, and then they all sort of expressed some of the difficulties. It's a story for everyone who has ever felt slighted, ignored, invisible, forgotten. And that's why the book was so magnificent.